Y'all know what time it is. Y'all don't know, y'all better ask somebody. Hat on, suit on, looking like a dapper dog, giving them all dressed like $1,000,000, diamond things in his cuffs. Y'all tell me who could it be but Steve Harvey? Oh yeah, listening to me. Put your hands together for Steve Harvey. Put your hands together. Steve Harvey. Oh, listen, Steve Harvey. Why don't you join me? Yeah. Steve Harvey. Get on, y'all. Better give me some eggs while I listen to Steve Harvey. Yeah, join me. If you're with me, help me say. You gotta turn it on, yeah. Turn it on. Steve Harvey in the morning, y'all. So y'all can get it on. Turn it up. Steve Harvey in the morning, y'all. Yeah. Turn your radio on. You gotta turn them on. Turn your radio on. Turn your radio on. You gotta turn them on. Steve Harvey got to turn them out. Got to turn them out. Harvey turn them on in the morning, y'all. Come on, Steve. Come on. Do your thing, Big Daddy.
I sure will. Good morning, everybody. You're listening to The Voice. Come on, dig me now. One and only Steve Harvey got a radio show. Today, I want to just share something with you along your way to wherever it is you're trying to get to. You know, everybody has a different definition for success, and I'm not here to tell you what yours should be. I mean, please pursue whatever you think success is. Aim as high as you can, though. That's for sure. My father used to say all the time, I'm sure you all have heard it in different variations, but he used to always say, aim for the moon, just in case you miss, you'll still be amongst the stars. Just say that to me all the time. So that always was in me to aim high. Now, he wasn't saying aim with the intent to miss. He was just saying aim in case you miss, you'll still be amongst the stars. If you aim for the moon. But if you just aim for that first floor window and you miss it, you know, usually run into some type of wall and nothing happens. You slither down. You know, in my book, Act Like a Lady, Think Like a Man, I told people that men love three ways. They profess, they provide, they protect. And that's the core essence of a man's love. Well, there's some other P's in life, too. The number one thing you have to understand about trying to be successful, and I guess I'll call this the 4 P's. I may come up with 5 along the way. I don't know. I'm just talking as it's given to me. So I'm gonna start by saying that these are the 4 P's of success that you have to get ready for. Number 1 is pressure. A lot of it is applied by the circumstance of what you're trying to go for and what you're trying to do. But a lot of it also is self-imposed pressure. It's what you put on yourself to make it. It's a sense of urgency. It's a sense of necessity. But pressure is the first thing I want you to be ready for. And pressure comes in a lot of different forms, but it's going to be pressure. There's an old saying that pressure busts a pipe. See, that's why most people turn around, because of the pressure of trying to be successful. I want you to get it in your mind that it is going to be a pressurized situation on your rise to the top. Pressure. But understand that is what it is not going to change. That's it. Prepare yourself. Get ready for there to be pressure. The second thing I want you to understand is when you receive this pressure, you have to persist. You got to stay at it. You got to develop a doggedness. There's a song out that says, why must I feel like that? Why must I chase the cat? Nothing but the dog in me. That's a funny line in that song, because really I was thinking about it one day. I was humming it, and it occurred to me. It said, why must I feel like that? Why must I chase the cat? Nothing but the dog in me. And, you know, now you could take it in the literal sense that a cat chases the dog because it's innately it's in his spirit that cats and dogs are a lot of times enemies. Now, people have pets and have proven that if you show love on both sides, they can exist, and that happens too. But naturally, innately, when your cat goes by a dog and your dog don't recognize them, there's some barking going on. I'm talking about just walking through the neighborhood or something. So, but the reason that this dog is so persistent towards this cat is just because it's in him. It's innately in him. And what I'm saying to you, just using that as an analogy, is that you got to be persistent in that you got to develop some dog in you now, because pressure takes some fighting back. See, if you don't fight back against pressure, pressure busts a pipe. So what you think it'll do to you? Pressure crack walls. Pressure causes explosions. So if you don't fight back to hold it in, you understand, pressure does most people in. The simple thing called pressure. The weight of what it feels like to want to be successful every single day, over and over and over and over and over. It's just too much pressure. People crack. You got to persist. You have to persist. The thought of giving up can come, but you got to get it out. You got to persist. The next thing I want you to think about is another something that I've been thinking about for years and learned for years. It's called perseverance. To persist means to insist. The key word in persist is insist. You must insist that this is going to happen. Now, the persist, I'm assuming, means it's a proaction. It's some type of proaction that you go towards it to make it, persist. You got to be persistent. You got to be constantly at it. You're insisting that it happens. You got to be constantly at it. But the next thing I want you to remember is perseverance. Perseverance is important. Perseverance means that when you've done your best, when you've persisted, when you're fighting back against the pressure, perseverance simply means I'm going to hang in here. If a crack come in the pipe, I'm going to hang in there. If the pipe bust, I'm going to keep going. If I got to put duct tape, mud, whatever I got to put on this thing, man, I'm going to use perseverance. I'm going to stay with it no matter what. So we looking at the three things again. You got to understand that it's going to be pressure, that you're going to have to persist. Key word in persist is insist. You have to insist that no matter what the pressure is, I'm going to stay with it. But then perseverance, if it goes wrong, man, you got to get in there and keep fighting. But then, Lord have mercy, nothing helps you handle the 3 P's better than the 4th P. You got to pray. You got to use prayer. You got to talk to God. You got to use faith. You got to have some conferences with him late at night, early in the morning, in the middle of the afternoon, when you're on the train, when you're driving. You got to talk to God, man. You got to get yourself some help along the way. Nothing is bigger than prayer. There is nothing bigger than prayer. Prayer will help you overcome the pressure. Prayer will help you stay persistent. And Lord have mercy, prayer will help you persevere. Them is the 4 P's. That just came to me today. God gave that to me. I'm passing it on.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is time. The Steve Harvey Morning Show is upon us. It is a really, really good show, man. Let me tell you the objective here every day. First of all, we try to enlighten people just to make your day brighter. And then we try to entertain, man. Mm-hmm. We just believe that to get your day started, you ought to draw a little entertainment. You ought to do a little couple laughs, man. Just get something on your head. It's enough news out there. We're not CNN. We're not HLN. We're not finna be all that. You want the news? Cut the news on. We got some news for you. We try to be informative. We keep you abreast to the major issues. But we really, man, want you to enjoy yourself before you get into that damn job.
Yes, Steve. That is our mission.
Man, entertain, empower, enlighten, keyword entertain. Ladies and gentlemen, Shirley Strawberry.
Hello, Steve. Hello.
That's the part of the enlightening part of the show. Carla Farrell.
Good morning, sir. What's up, crew?
This is a part of the information section of the show that provides us with stories and content. And now, after we've enlightened you and we've empowered you with some knowledge, ladies and gentlemen, we start with what we were born to do. Ladies and gentlemen, low-level ignorance kill Junior Spade.
Hell, I just got in here. Let me put my bag down.
See that right there? Ladies and gentlemen, high-level stupidity and ignorance, Nephew Tommy.
That's right. This department I control is called the Stupid Department. We on the 6th floor. 620 is my office. Stupid Department. Yeah, that's what I bring.
And last but not least, OKC.
OKC.
Original.
Oh.
Yeah.
King. Boy.
Not King.
King.
Yes,
K-A-N-G.
And we're getting ready, man. We're trying to put together some stuff. We've got a couple surprises. But next year, 2020, will mark the 20th anniversary of the original Kings of Comedy, the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy,
so
20
we're going to try to do something special.
And the original Steve Harvey Morning Show.
For it, yep.
Mm-hmm. Wow, congratulations, Steve.
Go ahead, huh?
That's awesome.
Yep, so we're going to see who wants to do some business with us.
And it's
Just throwing it out there.
election year. It's a big year.
I've talked to Said. I've talked to DL. I've talked to Walter Latham. Mm-hmm. We all on the same page. We want to do something great.
You ain't talked to me about nothing.
No, we didn't.
Okay. You want me to call Sid and DL and see what?
No, you don't have to. You don't have to.
Okay.
Steve?
Yeah.
No? Is that a no?
Cause see,
No, why is he in this shit?
I ain't see him in the movie.
Hello.
Well, I mean,
Bing, 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 bing.
I was on the side of the curtain when he walked out there.
all right, we have to move on
He did a
that
good
note.
job.
Coming up at 32 after the hour, we're going to talk about biggest regrets. What are our biggest regrets?
Oh my God.
Okay, think about that. And we'll be back right after this.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
Well, some people regret getting married.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people say that. Some people regret divorce.
Okay.
Some people regret leaving a job. I said some people.
Oh, okay.
We're not using any names here.
Yeah, well, just in case you looked over here.
Some people regret leaving a job or cheating, not saving enough money, not going to college. It goes on and on and on. Our
You regret
regrets that we
cheating
could
if
have.
you get caught, Shirley. Then you regret it. But you don't make regrets while they're doing it,
You don't put conditions on the
Oh,
cheating
okay.
regret.
Glad you cleared that up. Married man.
You don't regret it unless you're caught. Then you regret it. When you get away with it, you do it again.
Steve's only saying wow. He's not saying you're wrong.
No, it's not just saying, wow.
But he be saying
But the fact that he's saying it.
Yes.
Right.
All right, well, Tom Joyner, we all know Tom Joyner. Tom Joyner was on a panel at the National Association of Black Journalists Conference, moderated by Roland Martin. And Tom said one of his biggest regrets, Steve, was not working with you. Take a listen.
I've got a couple of regrets. We had the opportunity to put Steve under the umbrella.
Yep.
And egos got in the way. And we weren't that far apart on money. It was all egos. And Steve, Steve was gonna come under the Reach umbrella, and we were gonna do a twin tower kind of strategy, where it would be me in the mornings and Steve in the afternoons. Egos got in the way. That deal didn't happen.
No, it didn't.
Wow.
Man.
That was humbling.
That was transparent.
That's
What happened, Steve?
That's a wow. That's a true statement, though. That's exactly what happened. It was egos got in the way, and I don't think it was on Tom's part. I really don't. I think it was on partnerships' fault. You know, because I think Tom and I had talked about it, and it was an idea that Tom brought to me, and I thought it was a good idea. And as we got to talking about it, like he said, I think egos got in the way. I don't think it was Tom at all, because it was Tom's original idea. And I think we were really talking about forming a powerhouse. And I think egos did get in the way. I think people started talking about, we don't need him, and, he'll never.
Meaning you?
Oh, yeah. I remember somebody from that side said in a roundabout way, and it got to me.
Who on that side? You don't know. Let me know this kind of
what
stuff.
this is about, Tommy.
You don't know. Let me know who said something.
It wasn't Tom.
Quiet.
Okay.
It wasn't Tom, because I think this was original idea. I really do think Tom had came up with the original idea, and we were talking about it. But I think what happened was somebody on that side kind of got word out that, we don't need him, and let him go. There's nowhere him to go in mornings anyway, so we ain't got to put up with this, and we ain't got to pay that, And like Tom said, the money wasn't that far apart. We was trying to work it out, but, it took some more negotiating. But just some people up top started talking, and it kind of got back, and, then egos go, well, he can't do this in the mornings. And then,
Wow, Steve.
yes, I can.
look at
But,
here.
I'll say this, because I've heard of Tom talking about retiring, but Tom Joyner, man, on the real, one of the great radio men
Absolutely.
Oh, he
in,
is.
Yeah,
Yes, he
man.
is.
Really?
in
Yeah.
African American radio. And matter of fact, in all of radio. Tom Joyner was doing it before any of us got started.
Fly job, baby.
He did it in a way that none of us would ever even dream
yeah.
of doing.
He used to
And,
do mornings and afternoons himself from Dallas to Chicago, flying.
Yeah, he was a bad boy.
My
So
job.
a lot of props have to go to him being the giant that he became in radio, and it's one of the reasons I got into radio, to be honest.
Well, I'm glad to hear you say that.
Man.
Yeah,
I'm glad to really hear you say that.
and we never knew this story.
No,
actually,
I
we
didn't
never
even
knew
know
this
that.
story. And
So to hear that. But Steve, you have any regrets? I mean, Tom talked about regrets, and I guess because he's retiring, and it doesn't have to be with that particular deal or that partnership. Just what are some of your biggest regrets?
do we have
the
time?
sigh.
Yeah, that was like, how much time do we have? Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, let me think. Let me
I think
hold on,
all
man.
of
Let
us
me-
can do
let me-
that.
Oh, we all
Let
got
me
'em.
let me think for real.
But then,
Because
sometimes people say they don't have any regrets because if they do, then they wouldn't be the person they are today. So there are two schools of thought on the regret
Yeah, but
issue.
you done something you regret, though. Come on.
oh, absolutely, man. Look, I understand that. That statement does hold true. That if you hadn't have done everything you did in the order that you did it, you wouldn't be who you are today. And I definitely
Right.
adhere to that. But I'm
Right.
telling you though, man, I have regrets, man. I regret, one of the first regrets I had was the disappointment that I provided my mother and father, man. I really disappointed them, man, a couple of times in life. It was just so disheartening, man. I lost $5,000 of my father's one time. And man, that ripped his heart out and my heart out. You know, I saw how hurt he was when I lost his $5,000. It was all he had. And he gave it to me on a loan to buy a carpet cleaning machine.
Oh my goodness.
And I lost it because I couldn't make the bill. And so he got tired of the bank calling, so he relinquished his CD. I lost $5,000 to my father. That's one of my great regrets. And I spent the rest of my life trying to make it up to him. I paid him a lot more than $5,000 back.
I bet you did. All right, Steve, we'll hold it right there. I think everyone has a regret. We'll find out what Tommy's regret is, what Junior's regret is, Carla's and mine. We'll talk about it right after this.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
All right, before we went on break, Steve, we were talking about the fact that Tom Joyner, one of our colleagues and friend, had said that one of his biggest regrets was not going into a deal with you at one time. He said that it was almost done. Money wasn't even the problem, but egos got in the way. And he didn't even mean your ego or his ego. He just meant some egos got in the way. And then we went on from there to ask you what was one of your biggest regrets. And boy, you told us a heart-wrenching story about.
I disappointed my father and my mother, man. That was one of my great hurts. I think, I don't know, man. I've had a bunch of things I wished I had not done. You know, I wish, man, I had paid attention to my mother sooner about a relationship with God. I really do, man. I could have saved myself so much pain. Oh, my goodness, man. Have I done a number on myself by not adhering to that? But then we get right back to the fact that had I not gone through what I went through, I wouldn't be able to have the testimony that I have today. So, you know, it's tough when you got to deal with regrets.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it really is. It's heavy.
It really is.
And you'll end up beating yourself up over something that you really can't change.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, like you said, you spent the rest of your life trying to make it up to him, and your intentions were great, and I'm sure you did, and I'm sure he forgave you, but you never forgave yourself.
No.
Yeah. And that's
he forgot all about it.
Yeah.
Boy, that boy sent so much money to this house.
I remember that little 5G, huh?
What 5,000?
I remember my mama sent my daddy out to L.A. when I was on Me and the Boys because I was sending money to the house. My mama said, Slick, go out there and see what that boy done got himself into. Because ain't no way in the world you telling jokes and making this kind of money, sending us all this money every week. And my daddy flew out there. He said, son, that talk to me. What you done got yourself into? Is you hustling or you doing something like that? You in them streets? Well, what you doing? I said, no, I took him to the show and everything. Then I showed him my paycheck stub. He said,
You can't say what you see. You don't know.
I can't even
Not if
fix
you want to
it.
stay on.
Boy, if you don't get the blank, what? You got to be bull. No.
Can't say it.
You make that every week? Yes, sir. Boy, look at here. Boy, there's more money I make in a year. They pay you this every week. Yes, sir. Yeah. That was it.
Wow.
Man.
What about y'all? Big regrets.
You know what, Steve? My biggest regret, if I'm honest, is because I didn't finish college. If I didn't go my whole 4 years, that's my biggest regret. And I always wanted to do that before my mom passed away. And I started going back to school, and I still, haven't finished. But that was my biggest regret, that I didn't finish my 4-year degree. That's my biggest regret. I mean, I still have time to do it, but that is my biggest regret. It is. I mean, I wanted to be in radio so badly. I really did. And I got the opportunity to be in radio while I was in school, so I dropped out and took a radio job, and from there it just, exploded, and that's
still did good.
That's what happened. But still, you talk about regrets. That's my that's my biggest regret in life.
Yeah,
that really is.
Shirley, I flunked out of school. I ain't thought about it 3 times.
We always try to make people feel better.
Yeah.
Regret.
Right. But, I was her firstborn. I wanted to make her proud and everything. And I think I eventually I did that, but that, that's my one, regret.
Yeah.
That is my biggest regret.
What about you, Carla?
I think my biggest regret is my mother when, just growing up, I was raised by my mom. She encouraged me to try to have a better relationship with my father. But I was very, very angry at my dad for a long time. You know what I mean? And just thought my dad was trifling or, what we go through, the issues that I had with my father. And then when my father passed away, my mom passed away first, but when my father passed away, I kind of, when I went to his funeral and I spoke, and it was like, dang, I wish I had done, got to know my dad a little bit better.
And it wasn't that long ago, too, Carla, that your dad passed away.
Yeah, he passed away. My mom passed away in 2004, and my dad passed away 10 years later, 2014.
Yeah.
So.
Wow.
Yeah, but I have a close. But you know what? But you know what came from that though? I have a very, very close relationship now. Closer. I've always was close to my aunt, my dad's sister. She lives in L.A. Shirley knows. Yeah, my aunt. So we are. That's my girl now, and we are so close. And she's teaching me so much about my dad's family. And guess what, guys? My dad set me up when he died. I'm talking. Checks were coming in from my dad. I had no
Look at
idea.
God. Look at God.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's my regret. That the anger and trying to, just to get to know my dad better.
I know.
And my mother always tried to encourage that.
Did I mention I was always in gifted and talented classes through school too? So there was no excuse for me not to finish. That was no excuse. I forgot to mention that part.
Only one regret.
I wasn't never in the damn gifted class.
I was.
Did I mention that?
I just forgot to mention that.
Did I? Shirley, this is a true story. Do you know, they accidentally put me in special ed class for 3 weeks. They had got some paperwork mixed up. I was down there raising my hand every time the teacher asked something.
You knew you were
I
smart.
knew everything. Pop quizzes 8. Test 8.
Yes.
Group leader, reading group leader. I'm the smartest boy. My teacher went down there to the office and said, I think we made a mistake. This boy does not appear to be special ed. They came to my room and told me to come down and go to room 406. I went, what is we going down here for? I'm getting all A's. You don't even understand. 4 plus 4, 8.
Oh, you liked it down there. You liked it down there.
Dog, 5th grade, Shirley. 5th grade, 10 times 10, 100.
You got it.
Got it.
Add something else.
Junior,
Dog.
what's your biggest regret, Junior?
Nephew.
My biggest regret, I think, is my grandmother not here to see me today. Because she didn't believe.
Oh, she didn't believe you?
No.
Oh.
No, and I just wanted to show that I'm not making a mistake. I know there's something different about me. And this is what I'm born to do. And I wish.
As far as you being a comedian.
Because I remember when I came in the house, when I first started, she said, "How much we make this week, Mr. Comedian?" $35. Woo! Hold the dough. And I wanted to see me today.
Yeah.
Hey, Junior.
Yeah.
Can I tell you something?
What's up?
She see you.
Yep.
That's the good thing. She see you.
Man.
All right, look.
We come back, we're going to hear from the food.
We have to. We have to. All right, biggest regrets when we come back right after this.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
All right, wow, this morning took an interesting turn. We're talking about our biggest regrets on the morning show. Everyone has something they regret. They wish they had done different or better or not at all. And we've all been pouring out our hearts, basically, about what our biggest regrets are. And we've heard from everyone. And so now I just tell everyone, hold on, because it's time for the nephew.
Stop.
And we want to find out, nephew, what's your biggest regret?
My biggest regret.
Do
Please.
one for Tommy.
Yes.
How you gonna have a regret for him? What is it?
I think his biggest regret.
Come on.
Say what I think you're
Yes,
say.
that he.
I think one of his biggest regrets
Yes.
was not being as tall.
I
as
knew it.
I'm pretty sure he can look back on his life for all the short ass memories. Little feet and small hands. And, little ass G.I. Joe clothes he been wearing.
He had no control over that, Steve.
I know. That's how I know that's one of his biggest regrets, because he wish he could have controlled it. But I just want to put that out there for Tommy, because I know where he's fitting to go. I said, okay.
Yeah.
Let me speak for him, because you had some on your
Let me
list.
go on, lighten the load up, take this off my dog. Don't want him down there hurting too bad, because I listen.
Oh, Tommy.
But it's a thing, man, when you talk about regrets, and because like we all know, you can't redo any of it.
No.
And if it had not happened in the exact order that it did, none of us would be who we are.
True.
And it is these
That's true.
regrets that
Make
that
us.
tie us to a humbleness, that tie us to a hunger, that tie us to a memory that causes us to be better for it. All of these regrets that we've expressed, the memory of these regrets has caused us to change and become better people.
Yes.
All of them.
Yeah.
And that's why some people say they have no regrets.
No, because you gotta get it in that. It all had to happen, man.
Yeah.
You had to leave school. You had to not give your father a chance. Your grandmother had to not see you make it for you to really get that. Tommy dealing with his father, the loss of his father. But his father made him who he is today.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Yes,
Without Tommy's father, he ain't the dude he is today. All them ass whoopers, them checks and balances, them tough ass moments, man. That click for a cat.
Yeah.
I thank God for all these ass whoopings.
Oh, yeah.
Every last one. The ones
Man.
I thought I unfairly got.
Yeah.
Unfairly.
Yeah,
Because
Steve.
guess what? That teaches you to understand that life ain't always
It's
fair.
not always fair.
Sometimes it's just funky, man. But
Yeah.
get up and get on with it.
All right, Steve. We're in a good place, but we got to move on. Keep the show moving. Time for Miss Ann.
Ooh, don't
Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Ann Tripp.
Thank you very much, everybody. Good morning. And yes, we do have our regrets, but they do make us better. This is Ann Tripp with the news. President Trump has called off planned talks with the Taliban, and some Middle East observers say there might be another wave of violence because of it in Afghanistan, at least as a result. But Trump said he had to cancel.
Camp David would have been a good place, but I don't want to meet under circumstances where they go around and try and make themselves a little bit more important by killing a soldier, by killing actually also a great NATO soldier, in addition to our soldier, and also a total of 12 people. I don't want that.
It might also have been inconvenient because it was supposed to take place this week, September 11th, around that time. So that might have also not had a good look to it. The Taliban was supposedly finalizing a deal with the U.S. to close 18 years of fighting. No word now when or if the talks will resume. 50 state attorneys general have launched an investigation to Google to see if Google's been acting like a monopoly. In other words, too good at squashing its opponents. Thousands of Bahamians are now on U.S. soil after being evacuated from the devastation left by Hurricane Dorian. Meanwhile, Bahamian officials say there is no clean drinking water or electricity and only one functioning ambulance on Grand Bahama Island. USAID Administrator Mark Green says it's tremendous suffering and devastation.
There are parts of Abaco and the Bahamas that don't show a great deal of damage, and then there are clusters and communities that were devastated, almost as though nuclear bombs were dropped on them.
Green says that USAID has sent about $3 million to the islands to help provide clean water, sanitation, and emergency shelters, and communities in South Florida are trying to help also. Dorian took a slap at Canada on Sunday, heading out to sea, where it's expected to fizzle out today. A federal judge in California has reinstated his nationwide injunction against a new Trump administration policy that denies asylum to migrants who arrive at our southern border after traveling through a third country. Trump officials want to deny asylum to people from Central America and elsewhere who pass through other countries, in other words, without asking for protection in those countries before coming to the United States. the American Civil Liberties Union, or ACLU, is praising the judge's injunction. It's praising that he's stopping that. The U.S. Coast Guard began pulling trapped crew members out of a cargo ship that capsized off the Georgia coast on Sunday and caught fire. As of yesterday, 20 people have been rescued from that sinking vessel. In Chicago, this is a sad one, a horrible one. Jury selection, though, does begin this week in the murder trial for 2 of the 3 men charged with the deliberate murder of a 9-year-old boy, the 9-year-old son of a purported gang member in 2015, an attack that prosecutors say was meant to send a message to the father. They killed, they say, his 9-year-old child. The killing of Tyshawn Lee shocked and disgusted the community in Chicago. Authorities say the 4th grader was actually lured away from a playground and into an alley where he was shot and killed. Again, jury selection begins this week in that case. Former strongman, Zimbabwe strongman Robert Mugabe, he's going to be funeralized this week on Sunday, actually. He died in Singapore. His body due back in Zimbabwe tomorrow. Today, National Try It Look Day. So you vote, okay? And now back to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
Well, President Trump took to Twitter to bash Justice for All for not giving him and the Republicans credit for passing the First Step Act. When all of the people pushing so hard for criminal justice reform were unable to come even close to getting it done, they came to me as a group and asked for my help, he wrote. After bragging about getting it done and saying that President Barack Obama couldn't come close, then he started in on John Legend. Guys like boring musician John Legend and his filthy-mouthed wife are talking now about how great it is, but I didn't see them around when we needed help getting it passed. Are you kidding me?
Wow.
This is from
Wow.
the President of the United States.
Then I hate to tell you this, then your last 6 buildings.
Yeah, well, they mostly was bankrupt, wasn't they?
But John Legend,
I'm going to just tell you the truth now. John Legend has made money, man.
and he's a great
Very
musician.
successful.
Yeah.
But
he's an activist.
Yes.
But you're right.
And that's
but
the issue.
the fact that the president of the United States has time.
And how do you say something negative about his wife? Come on,
We're not gonna
dude.
talk about
how low
wives.
can you go? But you know Chrissy Teigen now. She's not going to let that stand. She will clap back. She clapped back at the president. She tweeted, LOL, what a blank B word. Tagged everyone but me. And honor, Mr. President.
She went in.
Yeah, she did.
I mean, since you wanted nasty mouth, here it is.
Yeah. Now, this is according to TMZ. Trump blocked Chrissy Teigen on Twitter back in 2017. The federal appeals court has since ruled Trump can't block people from his official Twitter account, but it's unclear if he has unblocked Chrissy. John Legend posted a message to Melania Trump to basically come get her man and give him the attention and praise he's so desperately craving.
Wow.
Put in
See,
there, help
see
the
right
country
now?
out.
Yeah.
Cause see, what you don't do is you can't come for a cat's wife now.
No.
It's home
But you
now.
know, man, this president, did you hear this stuff? He don't want the Bohemian refugees that are trying to come to America because they're all drug dealers and gang members. Everybody that's
ones
of
that were
color
affected by
is a drug dealer and a gang banger.
Yeah.
Like-
And he's
like-
not a
like-
racist, question mark?
Like they're escaping the brutality of a dictator in the Bahamas? No, sir. They have nowhere to go.
Right. They have
Their
no
island
home.
was decimated.
Yes.
And now he don't want to receive them because they are drug dealers and gangbangers.
And way to get your base riled, too. That's the way to get your base riled up.
That's
All right.
exactly what it's for.
Coming up
Fear.
next, at 34 after the hour, Junior's here with his Trump predictions. Okay.
What?
Can't wait for that. Right after
I've been
this.
thinking.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
All right, so Steve, people are still shaking their head about Trump's claim that Hurricane Dorian was going to hit Alabama, and they're also saying that the Commerce Secretary threatened to fire people if they contradicted Trump's hurricane claim. Well, with all of that being said, Junior is here with more Trump predictions. Let's hear him, Junior.
Yeah. Well, you know, Trump took the Sharpie and extended the cone.
Yes.
Right.
And said it's going to hit Alabama. Now, if you're willing to do that, you're going to tell us all that we crazy. We see where Dorian's going. But you're going to tell that there's some most ignorant statements you'll make. Like, for one,
What?
Netflix is going to make up with Monique.
That's not gonna happen, buddy.
Yeah. Now, he'll say it. He'll say it. Here's another prediction he'll probably make. There will be an old school 70s party at the White House. There ain't been a black person in there since you've been in there. Here go another prediction.
What you got?
New Year's Day will now start on September 28th.
Just change it like this, flip it, yeah.
If you think we believe that, okay, here go another he'll probably make. Black people will stop talking in movies.
Stop talking.
Yeah, black people, us.
At the movie theater.
At the movie theater. He think we really gonna stop. Here go another one. All black churches will cut their services down to 35 minutes and no longer.
Not gonna happen.
That ain't finna happen.
Wrong, Mr. President. Yeah.
He actually probably predict this. Ugly men in bars will no longer approach fine women. That'll never happen.
In your life.
They coming. Oh, you believe that they coming?
What the hell we gonna do at the club?
Yeah.
Here's probably another prediction. Snoop, Mike Tyson, and J. Anthony Brown will all stop smoking weed. And it's probably the one he really want to say. Trump will admit he has a man crush for Barack Obama.
Yes.
Just go on and say it.
Yeah.
Go on, say
Yeah.
it.
Go on and say
He
it.
mentions him every day.
Every day.
He
just say
really
it.
is jealous of the love that Barack Obama
Yeah,
had.
he is.
He is.
That's true.
Why he just don't say it? Go ahead and say it. Here go one. The Easter Bunny will now take over Christmas for Santa Claus.
Just lie.
Just lying. But he predicting this. Chick-fil-A will now be open on Sunday. The hell they
That's
will.
not gonna happen, Papa.
That won't ever happen. Or he'll probably gonna confess. He probably gonna predict this too. He'll confess OJ did it.
Damn.
Whoa, Junior.
Yeah. Well, you know he ain't gonna ever say that. He'll never say that. Mega pastors will now fly commercial airlines.
That's not gonna happen. Talking about Creflo?
Yeah.
You talking about Creflo?
Creflo. When you gonna get on Delta and see Joel Osteen? Just tell me. Apple will come out with an iPhone that costs $100.
No, that's not gonna
Hell
happen.
no.
We at 1,000 now, ain't we?
That
We
isn't,
wish.
yeah. Isn't the
No.
iPhone 11 comes out today?
It does?
Yeah.
Oh.
It ain't $100.
No.
No. And since he's so egotistical, 70 will be the new 20.
Well, he's in his 70s. That's not true.
Cardi B and Nicki Minaj will do a buddy movie.
I'd like to see it, though. I ain't gonna lie to you.
How the hell they gonna get on the same screen?
Yeah, I'd like to see
More
it,
like
though.
Ain't nowhere in the world.
Junior been thinking.
I just been thinking just
Yeah.
about some things he might predict. He just might predict it. I don't know. Okay, here go one. Spirit Airlines will now give you more leg room and fresh peanuts. Ain't no damn way in the world. Ain't nowhere in the world they gonna do it. And here go the last one. Last one I got.
What?
DJ Khaled will produce a song without saying, "We the best."
And another one.
And another one.
And another one. Hell, it ain't gonna happen.
I love it.
There's just some things he may predict if he think the Dorian gonna hit Alabama.
Like it when you think,
Yeah,
Junior.
he be
I like
thinking.
I like that.
President don't know.
Junior Stokes.
Yeah.
I like it. I like it.
Yeah, I just be thinking.
Wow.
He just gonna prove that he was telling the truth, getting folks fired.
Ain't no
Yeah,
way.
you just lie. You just lie. All right, thank you, Junior, for that. Coming up next, nephew in the building with the prank phone call right after this.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
Coming up at the top of the hour, right about 4 minutes after, it's my strawberry letter for today. The subject, I can't help it. I'm a hater.
Okay, well,
All right?
I can't help it.
I ain't mad at you being honest about it.
Honest, yeah. All right, but right now, nephew in the building with today's prank phone call. What you got for us, Neff?
Shirley, I got the Facebook Bandit.
Oh,
Facebook Bandit.
okay.
All right. Cat dog, let's go. Facebook Bandit.
Hello? Hello, I'm trying to reach Maurice.
Yeah, this is Maurice.
How you doing, man? My name is Dorsey. I'm trying to reach out to you. You're on Facebook quite a bit. Am I right?
I mean, I'm on the computer a lot, man. That's what I do.
Okay. My wife, for some reason, man, it seems that you've been having a lot of back and forth on Facebook with my wife, Denise. And I'm trying to figure out, at first it was kind of cute or whatever. I'm seeing your name on the wall all the time. And you keep IMing my wife back and forth. And I'm
you mean IMing, instant message?
That's what I mean. You know what I'm talking about. So my thing is, what is all this here with you and Denise?
Okay,
you
look,
making
man.
these little,
Yo, what you say your name was?
My name Dorsey.
Okay, Dorsey. Check this out, man. I got over 1,400 plus friends on Facebook. I don't know who your wife is.
Okay.
I don't recall IMing no Denise right now, and hey, I don't know who she is, man. I think you got the wrong.
Let me ask you this. Let me bring it to you so we can refresh your memory, because you're constantly asking her about how things used to be. Remember when we did this? Remember when we did that? It's a whole lot of remember this and that, and you asking her, about hooking up whenever she got time.
Okay, see, I don't even do that, man. I don't even do that. I don't do that, man. I got too much to lose. I don't do nothing like that, man. I could have over 30 out of 1,400 friends, man. I could have over 30 Denises on there, man.
Okay, well, I tell you what, man. Are you telling all the Denises that you want to hook up with them? Are you telling all the Denises, remember this, remember that?
I ain't telling nobody nothing, man. Look, I try to live my life as peaceful as possible, man. I'm not on that, okay? So Darius, whatever your name is, man.
My name is Dorsey, and let me explain something to you, man. I done seen pictures, brother, of high school pictures of you in a group on the site, so I know exactly what you look like. Okay?
You say me and who?
I done seen a group of you all that went to high school together, and evidently, you one of these guys. So I'm finna figure out exactly which one you are.
So what? I was tagged on a photo or something like that?
However you want to call it. I don't know much about the damn. All I'm letting you know is that I got a problem with you, Maurice, hitting my wife up trying to see about can she get out with you, can she do this, can she do that.
Look, Darius, you need to go check
it's Dorsey, man. It's Dorsey.
I don't give a what your name is, man. First of all, I'm on the toilet, and you calling me early in the morning when I already got. Look, I'm peaceful, man. I don't even cuss no more, man. You done got me out of my zone, man. Look, I don't know who your wife is. I don't be on Facebook like that. It stay up in the corner while I'm on the computer doing other shit.
My wife.
So it looks like I'm on there.
You understand me? My wife is Denise. You talking to Dorsey. You understand me? Now let me tell you something. If I see your on the wall, if I see you in my wife, it's gonna be some Maurice.
How is that? You don't even know where I live, dude.
Oh,
look,
don't
I don't know who
that.
you.
I will find that. If I found your number, don't think I won't find.
How the hell did you find my number? Right, you right. You do got my number. How the hell did you get my number?
Don't worry about that. You're gonna be saying that when I get on your front doorstep. How the hell you find my address?
Yeah, you come to my door and see what's gonna happen, man.
And when I leave, you're gonna be saying, "Why the hell did you whoop my?" That's what you're gonna be saying.
I got you. Come on. Hello?
Now, I'm going to say this one more time, and I'm going to say it clear. Maurice, if I see your name on my computer dealing with my wife, Denise, again, I'm coming to your house, and I'm whooping your ass.
Okay, look, Darius. You listening?
Man, it's Dorsey, man.
Dorsey, I apologize. Dorsey, look, man, I feel for you. It seems like your wife is on the computer a lot. Hey, she IMing people, whatever. But I'm the wrong cat to talk to, man. You need to talk to your wife, man. Y'all need to settle that, man. Maybe y'all need to go to church, man, talk to the pastor or something. But I'm the wrong cat, man.
All right, I'm going to tell you something, man. You keep talking about you feel for me, you understand. Let me tell you something. I feel for you. If I see your on my wife's computer one more time, if I see a baby picture, a high school picture, a high school sweetheart picture, I don't give a if you played football or ran track. If I see any picture, anything dealing with your name, Maurice, on my wife's computer, I'm kicking your
Wow. You know what, man? I don't give a who you is, Darius, whoever the I can't even remember what your name is, man. Do not call my house no more. I don't know who your wife is. And you know what? My address is Trail, man. You come on down here, Decatur, Georgia. You come. Man,
All I'm saying to you is get your
I gave you a chance to talk. I told you where I live at. Now you bring your to my door and you see what happens.
I got one more thing I want to say to you.
No, you ain't got to say stuff to me, man.
Yes, I do, Maurice. Before I get in my car and head over there, I got one more thing I want to say. Is you listening?
I'm hanging up.
Are you listening to me?
What the you got to say?
This is Nephew Tommy from the Steve Harvey Morning Show. You just got pranked by your boy Chris. Hello?
Wait, you say who?
This is Nephew Tommy, man, from the Steve Harvey Morning Show. Your boy Chris got me to prank phone call you, dog.
Boy. Wait till I call Chris, man. Oh, I don't believe it, man. For real, man. Man, you gonna make me close my Facebook account, man. Wow.
Let me ask you, man, what is the baddest radio show in the land?
Steve Harvey Morning Show.
All right. What y'all think? Facebook Bandit.
You play too much.
What do you
too
mean,
much.
what do we
All
think?
right. All right.
You know what we think.
I'm just saying, it's stupid in order. That's all I want to know. I just want to make sure it's in order. I got to thank Greenville, North Carolina.
Okay.
Went down there this past Saturday, did a show, 2,500 seated. The boy, the nephew sold that thing out at the convention center. 65 minutes flat-footed. The nephew put it down. And I'm proud of that. So, you know.
All good, man.
Yeah. Because, the Kings, tell them you're getting ready to do something. So, I know Unc gonna want me to be with
I know, but the Justice is doing something too. Get on that one.
the Justice?
The Justice.
The Jesters?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, you can be on that.
Wow.
Oh, I wanted to be with the King.
Well, you a fool.
Okay. Well, Greensboro, North Carolina. I ain't a king yet, but I'm working at it. Okay.
Like a prince.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, that's cool.
September 21st, the nephew coming to Greensboro, North Carolina. Carolina Theater, baby, get ready. Greensboro. Matter of fact, call Greenville and find out what happened. I promise you, they gonna tell you exactly that the nephew was a fool. I'm coming to Greensboro. That's the 21st of September. Carolina Theater. Tickets on sale right now.
And what are you about,
Oh,
Steve?
you know the king that's what they do.
Because if he woman.
I know. It's like, what are you hemming and hawing over there for? What's going on with you?
Nothing.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you, nephew. Up next, it is the Strawberry Letter subject. I can't help it. I'm a hater. We'll get into it right after this.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
All right, guys, time now for today's Strawberry Letter. And if you need advice on relationships, on sex, on dating, on work, on parenting, and more, please submit your Strawberry Letter to steveharveyfm.com and click Submit Strawberry Letter. You could be, we could be reading your letter on the air, and you could be hearing your letter on the air because we're going to read it right here, right now.
Let's do it. Buckle up. Hold on tight. We got it for you. Here it is. Strawberry Letter.
Subject, I can't help it. I'm a hater. Dear Steve Shirley, every time I say that, you laugh, Scarlett. I know. Dear Steve Shirley, I love myself very much, and I love most of my family, but I developed this deep, dark hatred for my sister. You see, my sister has the life I prayed for. I turned to God and asked God to bless me with a husband with all the qualities her husband has. God gave this wonderful man to my sister, and my sister has never prayed for anything. She did not even want to be in a relationship when she met her husband. He is a good man, and they are talking about starting a family soon. She prayed for nothing. She's not very religious, and she sins all the time, but God still gave her the life I prayed for. Because of that, I developed this deep jealousy for her, and it just turned to hate. It's hard for me to be in the same room with my sister and her husband. They made a joke recently about me being single and in my mid-30s, so it caused me to hate her even more. I have a lot of friends that are in relationships and married, but I don't feel this way about them. I have a little jealousy towards them, but it's not as bad. I've dated a few guys here and there, but they aren't looking for a serious relationship. And after I sleep with them, there is usually no more communication after that. I'm not picky at all, but I haven't gotten anywhere in my prayers for a good man. My sister has received all of my blessings with her sinful self. I'm losing my faith now because God ignores me. I am still single with no real possibilities of finding love. Please tell me how I can get back on track with my faith and stop hating my sister for having the ideal life that's mine. Wow. All right, well, first of all, you lied to us, okay? In the very first line, you lied to us in this letter. It says, Dear Stephen Shirley, I love myself very much. No, you don't. No, you don't. And this letter is full of receipts that prove you don't love or respect yourself at all. For instance, self-respect. You say you're not picky at all. You're not looking, guys aren't looking for a serious relationship and after you sleep with them. So sounds like you're just sleeping with guys. They don't communicate after all, and that's okay with you. You couldn't love yourself and let yourself be treated this way, okay? So contradictions all in this letter. This letter is not about your sister. You got to understand that. This letter is about you. Your relationship with God, your trust of God. You're judgmental. You're not supposed to be judgmental. You know that. You're hateful. You don't understand. What's for you is for you. Okay? God loves us all the same. It's what's for you is for you. Don't you know you're supposed to be happy for your sister, that she's happy with her husband, she's happy in her marriage, and your friends that are married, you're hating on them too. You're supposed to be happy for them. Not saying they got all my blessings. Those are their blessings, okay? They're not your blessings. You are a miserable person. You're a miserable person. You hate yourself and you hate everyone else around you. You're looking at their lives and wondering why you don't have that. Maybe that's why, because you're too busy paying attention to what they got going on and not paying attention to what you have going on. Girl, get it together. That's your sister. You're not supposed to be hating on her like that, or anyone else for that matter. Learn how to love yourself first, and then you can love other people. It won't be so hard. Steve?
Wow. This letter right here, this crazy.
Yeah.
It's got so much crazy stuff in it.
It does.
It just starts crazy. Shirley, you said something about she lied in the letter. She doesn't love herself very much. I agree with you, but let me take a different look at this. I love myself very much, right there. And then you said, and I love most of my family, but, right? What? Wait a minute, hold up.
Yes.
When you remember how your mama told you, once you say but, it negates everything you said prior to that?
Before it, right.
I love myself very much, and I love most of my family, but I've developed this deep, dark hatred for my sister. This whole block statement is filled with contradiction. I love myself very much. I love most of my family. I've developed a deep, dark hatred for my sister. Ooh. Wow, okay. Well, you tripping.
Big time.
You see, my sister has the life I prayed for. No, she don't. No, okay, if your sister has the life you prayed for, do you understand how this works right here? You've hated your sister so much that the life you prayed for, God gave it to her. Because you so doggone hateful, why would he give it to you with your heart filled with all this hate you got? You ain't gonna be able to treat it right. I turned to God and asked God to bless me with a husband with all the qualities her husband had. God gave this wonderful man to my sister. This man didn't want you. The man didn't want you. You just said in your letter, when you sleep with men, after you sleep with them, it's no communication. Not only don't this man want you, but none of the men you slept with want you. Girl, I got so much to pick out of this letter.
I know. All right, well, hold it right there, Steve. Hold it right there. I know this letter is upsetting. It is, because she's crazy. We'll have part 2 of Steve's response coming up at 23 after the hour. today's subject, I can't help it. I'm a hater. We'll be back right after this.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
All right, Steve, come on. Let's recap today's Strawberry Letter. Subject, I can't help it. I'm a hater.
It's hard to recap. Here's a woman whose sister has the life she want, and now she hate her sister. And she mad at God. She said, your sister has the life I prayed for. I turned to God. I asked God to bless me with a husband with all the qualities her husband has. God gave this wonderful man to my sister. My sister has never prayed for anything. How you know?
Yeah, you don't know that.
How do you know your sister ain't prayed for nothing? She did not even want to be in a relationship when she met her husband. That's usually how it happens. Love just walks up to you. She wasn't out there looking for nothing. She wasn't hunting. She got found. He's a good man, and they talking about starting a family. That's what people do when they get married and they in love with each other. She prayed for nothing. How do you know that? She's not very religious. How do you know that? And she sins all the time. Everybody do.
Okay.
Everybody do. What you tripping?
She's so
She prayed for
judgmental.
nothing. She's not very religious, and she sins all the time. You just described everybody else, including your damn self.
Yes.
But God still gave her the life I prayed for. God ain't finna give you nothing because you too hateful.
Come on.
Because of that, I developed this deep jealousy for her. Uh-oh, you hateful and you're jealous for her, and it just turned to hate. Let me ask you something. When you typed this letter, did you read it? did you read this? I swear to God. This letter's so damn crazy.
She doesn't get it, Steve.
There is not a breath in this letter. There's not a line where you breathe. Because of that, I developed this deep jealousy for her, and it turned into hate. It's hard for me. Listen, every letter is filled with hate. It's hard for me in the same room with my sister and her husband.
She don't love herself. She don't love anybody.
They made a joke recently. Some levity. Here comes some levity, y'all. They made a joke recently about me being single and in my mid-30s. So it caused me to hate her even more. Oh, the damn joke. You's a hateful helper. Can I tell you something?
Yeah.
You is a hateful helper, man.
She's just filled with it. Yeah.
Then here we go. Here's a bright spot. I have a lot of friends that are in relationships and married. That's a bright spot. Ready? But I don't feel the same way about them. I have a little jealousy towards them, but it ain't as bad. I only half hate their ass.
She is a miserable.
Well, she got half.
Here we go. You ready for some more?
Come
I've
on, let's
dated
have
a few guys here and there, but they aren't looking for a serious relationship. And after I sleep with them, there's usually no more communication after that. Wow. Damn. So now you so hateful. Your sex ain't even good.
He said it too, Shirley. Don't be mad.
You have hateful sex.
Get in here.
What does hateful sex sound
You
like?
have hate. Take it. Want me. Take it. Get it and love me. Is you loving me yet? You want to stay with me the rest of your life? Take this thing I'm giving you. Yeah. Want to go buy me a ring now?
Hateful sex. Wow.
I've dated a few guys, serious relationship. I sleep with them. There's usually no more communication after. I'm not picky at all. What? So now you sleeping with anybody.
Anything.
But I haven't gotten anywhere in my prayers for a good man. Okay, excuse me. Where in your prayers for this good man does God tell you to go out and sleep with men that you ain't even picky or particular about and have sex with them, which ain't gonna be good sex because you have angry sex. You're evil. You have hateful sex.
What I told you I wanted you to do.
I don't want no more from you. My sister has received all my blessings. No, she didn't. Your sister got the blessings that God was going to give her. What God has for her is not for you. God ain't gave nothing to her that he intended to give to you. He not giving you nothing because you hateful. My sister received all my blessings with her sinful self. Wow.
Judgmental.
I am losing my faith now because God ignores me. You don't have no faith. You ain't losing it. It's gone. God ain't in you at all. You've removed the space for God to exist in you with hatred. I'm still single with no real possibilities of finding love. And because of that statement right there, you never will. You keep putting negativity out in the universe and you expect positivity to return. Are you crazy? Please tell me how I can get back on track with my faith. You need to go to a good faith-based church, just like Joel Osteen say. You need to pick up your Bible. You need to stop hating your sister. You have the life that you've thought and prayed yourself to. Let me give you a scripture right quick. James 4:3 says, you ask and receive not because you ask amiss. You know what that means? When you keep asking God for something and God don't give it to you, it's because you keep asking with the wrong intentions.
That's right.
You know she
with
hates
the wrong motivation. Your
leave on
whole
that.
motivation in life is wrong. That's why God ain't gonna bless you, because you so hateful.
I love that answer.
And don't nobody want no hateful sex.
All right, guys, email us or Instagram us your thoughts on today's Strawberry Letter at Steve Harvey
Just
FM.
hateful sex.
And check out the Strawberry Letter podcast on demand. And coming up at 46 after the hour, we'll tell you how to come party with us at the Sand and Soul Music Festival in Cancun, Mexico, right after this.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
All right, Steve, let the people know it is coming. It is coming in October.
All right, y'all, listen to this. Sand and Soul.
Woo!
We had 4,000 people last year down in the DR. Things happened in the DR. We moved it to a beautiful place in Cancun, Mexico at the Moon Palace Resort. You can go to Steve Harvey Sand and Soul and check it out. But I tell you what you're going to do. I'm going to give you a chance to get it. I've thrown in a big discount for anybody that wants to go at the last minute. Once again, to take advantage of our special discount, call this number, 1-800-684-2825. Y'all just get on the phone. Just check it out. I'm telling you, it's a big deal. And keep talking. Try to ask for more. 1-800-684-2825. It's all inclusive, y'all. If you've been trying to figure out a way to do it, this is it. This special right here is as good as it gets. We've got a special going on now through Friday that our phone operators are waiting to tell you about. So if your pockets were just a little bit tight after this summer, getting them kids back in school, you've been trying to figure it out, I got a special right here. This about as good as it gets. We got all-inclusive everything. Foods, drink, live performances, comedy, pool parties, celebrities, you name it. Come on, y'all. Enjoy yourself with us. Columbus Day weekend. Once again, the number to call to take advantage of this very special discount, 1-800-684-2825. 1-800-684-2825. If you call that number, I'm telling you, it's going to be a deal that you won't be able to beat. I can't do no better than this. I'm just trying. I done tried. 1-800-684-2825. That's all you got to do. That's what we're trying to do. Do you understand?
October 10th through the 14th. Yes.
SteveHarveySandandSoul.com, y'all. Call right now, 1-800-684-2825. Operators are standing by to take this very special discount call, 1-800-684-2825. Sand and Soul, we're going to be jamming.
All right, Steve.
Yeah.
We'll be there.
I'm
We can't
gonna be
wait.
Yeah.
Woo!
Partying.
Yes.
Margaritas. Hola.
Yeah, it's been a minute since we've been to Cancun, too. Yeah. It's been a minute, so it'll be fun to go back. See all the people. We love
Hang
the
out.
people.
Yeah. Pool.
I'm going to brush up on
Balls.
my Spanish.
Cigars. Women.
I ain't brushing up on no damn Spanish. I'm not leaving the resort.
They speak Spanish there. Hola.
I remember with Steve. You remember Tommy when Steve had the Spanish teacher come?
Oh, man. That was
All
hilarious.
he wanted to learn was the cuss words in Spanish. All right, we'll be back with more of the Steve Harvey Morning Show coming up right after this.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
All right, an anti-LGBT group is boycotting Whole Foods. We all know Whole Foods, the chain, the grocery chain, Whole Foods. They're saying that Whole Foods is indoctrinating children into transgenderism and homosexuality by hosting a storytelling hour with drag queens. The group is called 1 Million Moms. It has previously protested Toy Story 4 for presenting a lesbian couple, issued the call to action on its website after a drag queen story hour took place at a public library in Atlanta. Whole Foods Drag Queen Story Hour, 1 Million Moms, Atlanta Mayor Keisha Bottoms appeared at Pride Month edition of Drag Queen Story Hour with Miss Terracotta Sugarbaker, and they were joined at the event. After the initial complaints, the storytelling session was allegedly removed from the library's public calendar's listings, but was not canceled. Now, drag queen story hours, guys, have taken place at libraries nationwide. This has been going on for the past few years. They've had colorful performers reading fairy tales and other age-appropriate stories, but opponents attack the event as inappropriate for children. They're saying that children shouldn't be seeing this. They say the disturbing events involve men dressed up as women who read LGBTQ-themed books to young children under the guise of performing a public service. Now, 1 Million Moms, this is their claim. They say some drag queens have admitted their goal is to groom the next generation. The group warned that those who continue to shop at Whole Foods, they are supporting child exploitation, which this corporation apparently contributes to and endorses.
I think Whole Food has really good grass-fed beef.
You know they do.
Speaking of grass, I gotta cut my mama yard this weekend.
You cutting her grass this weekend?
Yeah, I'm gonna cut her yard.
I laid down some turf at my house.
Did you?
Yeah.
Why are they talking?
Yeah, because you save a lot of time. That way you ain't got to cut the grass.
We're talking about lawns?
Yeah.
That's nice turf they got in the Superdome at the Saints play on. You know that? That's good turf.
From last night.
I ain't never got tackled on that before. I always played on natural grass.
Yeah.
We're talking about 1 Million Moms, their group. Yeah, they're
Queen Story Hour.
They want people in Atlanta to boycott Whole Foods because of the drag queen story hour they have.
Didn't I say I was cutting my mama yard? Didn't I say that, Jay?
Yeah, you did.
That's what I thought.
You know what? What you do when your back itch in the middle? Like, do you?
I got a back scratcher. I still have them.
Yeah.
He talking about dry skin.
I know.
You got
I used to do Little Tommy story.
It was good too.
You were dressed as Steve. Okay, in other news, I'm just gonna NBA star Blake Griffin has roasts Caitlyn Jenner at the Alec Baldwin Comedy Central roast. Take a listen.
Look, for real, I know we're all here making fun of Caitlyn, but honestly, I want to take this moment to publicly thank you. As an athlete, I want to thank you for your bravery. And as a human, I want to thank you for the doors you've opened. And on behalf of the entire NBA and half of the rappers on the Billboard charts, I want to thank you for giving your daughters their daddy issues.
Wow.
My mama had a daughter.
Yeah, my mama had a daughter. I got one. I got a daughter. Whew. Yeah.
So I guess these stories is just stories y'all don't want us to comment on.
And we damn sure ain't gonna do it.
Yeah, this has been Save Your Career segment. This has been these last two stories have been comment if you want to.
You notice we know how to hit the stop sign.
Boy,
Oh no.
Somebody listening gonna have a problem with any of these damn jokes y'all do about these subjects right here. This is called help a comedian keep a career.
We'll be back
Living
with
my best
more
life.
of the Steve Harvey Morning Show. Coming up at 20 minutes after the hour, right after this.
I ain't going back and forth.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
All right, here's something we can all comment on or think about. If you could be the best player in any sport, what sport would that be? We all know the NFL is the most popular sport, football, of course. That's the most popular sport in the land. But the players are mostly unseen because they wear helmets, okay? And they get hit a lot. It's not ideal. NBA players have a good gig, but playing basketball still involves a lot of running around, a lot of running. So, guys, if you were to be the best player in any sport, what would that be? Steve?
It'll be basketball. I don't give a damn what that survey said.
You'd run around.
Talking about all that damn running around. What you want to do? What sport? I won't be no damn baseball player. Get out there every now and then. You out there every third inning. Nobody want to be out there for that.
What about you, Junior?
Want to be no damn hockey? Them gonna run my ass up into that wall. We fighting, partner.
Some teeth will be knocked out.
Sitting up here and play no dry ass soccer, 1-0. Been out here 98 minutes running up and down. I ain't even kicked the damn ball. Kick it, man. Just get this ball in this net best way you can. Throw it in there.
What about you, Junior?
I'm with basketball. And the ladies that come with it.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. What about you?
Me, honestly, about sumo wrestling. At least you naked halfway in. 3/4.
All right. Coming up, more fun, more music, more ignorance on the Steve Harvey Morning Show. We'll be back right after this.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
Well, President Trump took to Twitter to bash Justice for All for not giving him and the Republicans credit for passing the First Step Act. When all of the people pushing so hard for criminal justice reform were unable to come even close to getting it done, they came to me as a group and asked for my help, he wrote. After bragging about getting it done and saying that President Barack Obama couldn't come close, then he started in on John Legend. Guys like boring musician John Legend and his filthy mouth wife are talking now about how great it is, but I didn't see them around when we needed help getting it passed. Are you kidding me?
Wow.
This is from the President of the United States.
Then I hate to tell you this, then your last 6 buildings.
Yeah, well, they mostly was bankrupt, wasn't it?
But John Legend...
I'm going to just tell you the truth now. John Legend has made money, man.
And he's a great
very, very
musician.
Successful.
Yeah.
But
he's an activist.
Yes.
But you're right.
And that's the issue.
But the fact that the President of the United States has time.
And how do you say something negative about his wife? Come on,
We're not
dude.
Talk about
how low
wives.
can you go? But Chrissy Teigen now, she's not going to let that stand. She will clap back. She clapped back at the president. She tweeted, LOL, what a blank blank B word. Tagged everyone but me. And honor, Mr. President.
She went in.
Yeah, she did.
I mean, since you wanted nasty mouth, here it is.
Yeah. Now, this is according to TMZ. Trump blocked Chrissy Teigen on Twitter back in 2017. The federal appeals court has since ruled Trump can't block people from his official Twitter account, but it's unclear if he has unblocked Chrissy. John Legend posted a message to Melania Trump to basically come get her man and give him the attention and praise he's so desperately craving.
Wow. See right now?
Yeah.
Cause see what you don't do is you can't come for a cat's wife now.
No.
It's home.
But you know, man, this president, did you hear this stuff? He don't want the Bohemian refugees that are trying to come to America because they're all drug dealers and gang members. Everybody that's of color is a drug dealer and a gang banger.
Yeah, yeah. And he's not a racist, question mark?
Like they're escaping the brutality of a dictator in the Bahamas? No, sir. They have nowhere to go.
Right. They have
Their
no
island
home.
was decimated.
Yes.
And now he don't want to receive them because they are drug dealers and gangbangers.
And way to get your base riled, too. That's the way to get your base riled up.
That's
right.
exactly what it's for.
Coming up
Fear.
next. Coming up, our last break of the day and some closing remarks from Steve Harvey at 49 minutes after the hour, right after this.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
All right, here we are, last break of the day. Another fine day on the Steve Harvey Morning Show. Yeah, thank you so much for listening. We appreciate your business every day. Yeah, thank you. We love you. All right, Steve, you're up. Closing remarks. What you got?
Yeah, more and more I try to share things that I learn as I pick them up, I try to, when I'm talking to people about my faith and my walk, I guess I use myself as an example because I try to simplify it for people because, man, so many people get turned off with traditional religion, and there's nothing wrong with church, man. I think that church is one of the great institutions that's ever been around, but some people can't get there, and some people get turned off by people in the church when it's really the relationship with God that you try to foster. But there are some people in churches that can be quite a turnoff in you trying to find the peace you're looking for in your life or the answers you're looking for in your life, because you go to this building and somebody in the building ain't really a good example of Christian or whatever your faith is, and all of a sudden they come in, they full of more devil than being at a club sometimes. So what I try to offer people through my own little form of testimony is to show you that you can have this walk with God just the way you are, that you don't have to try to fix yourself to have this relationship, that you got to start somewhere. And God deal with regular people all the time. God just don't deal with the people that consider themselves holy. God deal with regular people. God take regular people and turn them into heroes. God take regular people. The Bible is full of stories of regular people that God used as an example, people who showed extraordinary exhibitions of faith and hope. And so I just try to share with people stuff that I learned along the way. One of the things I was learning, man, was I had to really learn to accept each day just as it came to me. And that's what I want to share with you today. Start accepting the day as it comes to you. Do not waste your time and energy wishing for a different set of circumstances, because it's not going to happen. Do you know how much time and energy you burn wishing things weren't the way they were? Do you know how much time and energy you wished hoping something was different, and there's no way it can be different? We spending too much time with that. You got to accept the things in the day that you can't do anything about. And remember something, man, that instead of that, start trusting in the process that God has a special design and a special purpose for you. Even with this difficulties, man, you got to trust in the process. His plan for you is different from my plan. It's different from your mother's plan. It's different from all your friends' plans. But don't spend that much time and energy like so many of us do, like I've done. I can't count the times I did it, man, wishing certain circumstances weren't the circumstances, but they are. It is what it is. Now, what you gonna do about it? This could be an opportunity for you to get closer to God. Sometimes trials and tribulations and things come our way because God just wants us to be closer to Him. You know how people get aggravated all the time? People kill me when they say this. He went to prison, he found the Lord. He had to wait till he went to prison to find the Lord. Okay. Okay. But he found him, though. See, everybody ain't got to go to prison to find him. You know how I found him? I found him living in a car. You know how else I found him? I found him when he took everything from me twice. You know how I found him? I found him after 2 divorces, man, when it just looked like I wasn't going to rise no more. And guess what? I keep finding him over and over and over again. I keep finding how great he really is. Every time a hardship come in my life, I find out a little bit more about him. I find out just how powerful, how forgiving, how loving, how merciful, how graceful he really is. Every time something happened, when they write me off and he lift me up again, I keep finding out about him every day I wake up, how good he really is. So don't worry about the brother that go to prison and find, now he want to tell me about the Lord. He been sitting in the cell. Well, maybe that's what it took. Maybe that's what it took. But the same thing it took for him to find the Lord, something going to happen to you to make you find him too. And sometimes, like I said, you need them trials and them tribulations to get you in a better place. These trials and tribulations ain't to break you and to destroy you, it's to strengthen you. You need all of this to draw you closer. You think about it. You wouldn't even go to God if you didn't need him. Must be talking to myself. I know I wouldn't have. If everything went right for me my whole life, you think I'd be talking to God all the time? No. Because I got everything. But I need him though. And it pushed me to him. And I'm glad it did. So remember, stop tripping about your circumstances, man. Get yourself in contact with your Creator. God loves you, wants a relationship with you. Sometimes these trials and tribulations is to get that relationship. Okay? Those are my closing remarks. Hope I ain't step on nobody's toes. Y'all have a great weekend. Talk to God. He'd love to hear from you, okay? For sure.
Yeah.
For all Steve Harvey contests, no purchase necessary, void where prohibited. Participants must be legal U.S. residents at least 18 years old unless otherwise stated. For complete contest rules, visit SteveHarveyFM.com.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.